Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Wednesday, September 24th. Preseason is right around the corner. Media Day is 5 days away. We're as close as we've ever been to Celtics basketball being back, and I can keep saying that until preseason tips off in Memphis on October 8th. How you doing, Sam?
Doing great. Can't even believe it. Next time we do a pod, it'll be even closer. It's going to be incredible. I think we've left the days behind of talking about nothing, because today we've got plenty to talk about. Jayson Tatum went on every possible show yesterday except ours and said a lot. Maybe the Celtics will see some movement in the wake of the Fred VanVleet injury. We'll talk about what happened, why people are talking about it, and so on. We'll go through your emails, then we'll do the rat list and get out of here. It's going to be a fun show. Going to be one of the most newsworthy shows we've done in a while. So stick around through all of it. We are here every single day. Subscribe to the channel. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps with more after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. But yes, Jayson Tatum talking to everybody. And his message that he told literally everybody was, I didn't count myself out for this season.
Yeah, Jayson Tatum did a little media tour. Talked to People Magazine, went on Stephen A. Smith's show, went on a bunch of different places to talk about his injury, his recovery, and some other stuff. His new shoes, a new, I think, drug that helped him recover, or something or other that he's promoting.
It's a painkiller that's not
a painkiller,
basically, is what he said.
Thank you. Yes. And he had a bunch of quotes that went around the media circuit, which, as they should. A couple of the more notable ones in his interview with People Magazine said, I literally sat there talking about right after his injury happened. He said, I literally sat there and cried for 2 hours because so many things ran through my mind. Is my career over? Am I going to get traded? Are all my partners going to drop me? My basketball career flashed in front of my eyes. I'm in my prime, one of the best basketball players in the world, and it felt like it was all taken away. Also did talk about the goal of returning to the court, maybe even before the end of this season. Said, doing everything in my power to get back as healthy as I can, as fast as I can. Nobody's putting any pressure on me to come back at a certain point, but I'm also not ruling out that I'm not playing this season. The first most important thing is making a full recovery, being back 100% before I step on the floor, not compromising anything. I'm still only 27. I got a lot of basketball left. I'm not rushing it. And then another thing that went viral was Tatum surgeon O'Malley, I think Martin O'Malley, Dr. Martin O'Malley said that his progress has been crazy. He said, I don't think I've seen a person's calf look as strong as his. At 6 or 8 weeks, he was doing double heel raises. He worked his calf so hard that the side effect of loss of strength, I don't think he's going to have any. And then our good friend Andrew Doxey on Twitter, who did tear his Achilles or rupture his Achilles, responded to that and said, it took me like 4 months to do the raises or something crazy. And so Tatum is doing pretty good in his recovery.
He clearly is doing pretty good. Like, okay, he went from maybe I'll retire to telling everybody that he's going to be, more or less telling everyone he's going to be back this year, which is bananas. And it's weird for a lot of reasons. But for the first reason, it's like, why would you put that pressure on yourself when the whole summer has been spent taking the pressure off of you? Like, Rich Gotham spoke to you guys in Providence about this and was like, look, we're not putting any expectations on him. You know, he's going to want to make us have a tough decision, but we don't know anything, and so on. Like, very non-committal. Nobody has indicated that he would be back this season. That is the best thing that can possibly happen for you when you have an injury like this, because even though I don't think it really mattered in the grand scheme of things, but like when Gordon Hayward got hurt, the whole season was spent like people on Twitter watching him run. Remember the video of him running and he had to like get his feet in the circles as he was running? Like any little clip in it, it'll happen with him too. Don't worry. But any little clip that would come out and people are like, when's he coming back? When's he coming back? And now that's going to happen with Tatum because he was like, I'm going to play this season. And then you had all the Twitter doctors coming out being like, shit, he did the calf raises already. He could be ready for November, December. Like, this has created a shitstorm. I mean, is it bad? Probably not. Like, I personally feel like he's smart enough, especially media-wise, where typically you can test this. He doesn't tell us anything. Like, he's very non-committal at the podium, doesn't really give the best answers at times. for him to come out and say this repeatedly, he must be feeling really good, really confident, because it just doesn't make sense for him to say that in any other context, right?
Listen, I don't think it's like, I don't think this means he's definitely going to come back this season, right? I don't think we should take this and say, okay, we're gonna see him in February. We're gonna see him post All-Star break, 100%. I still think it's on the more unlikely side that he actually does. I don't doubt that Jayson Tatum is feeling incredible. I don't doubt that Jayson Tatum is attacking his rehab better than anybody else. I don't doubt that his body is reacting better than anybody else. He's younger than most guys are when they tear or rupture or, injure their Achilles, right? Like that's just how it is. He is like, I don't want to say a very like an uncharted territory in terms of the case of it, like, et cetera. But he kind of is, right? You think of all the other guys who tore their Achilles in the NBA, they're 30, 31. You see all these injuries. Jason Tatum's 27, like prime of his career, like he said. So it makes sense why his body would respond a little bit better to the treatment and stuff. I do think that he is feeling better than he probably expected to. So he's probably like, yeah, I'm not going to rule it out. Like if he stays on this line of progression, maybe he will come back. But I also don't think it's a guarantee, right? And I think he's saying this because he wants to maybe give fans hope. I think he wants to give himself hope, right? Like you heard the quote about how he was reacting after his injury. He thought the Celtics were gonna fucking trade him. You got to be a special,
So did my
really
mom.
dark, really sad place, right? You got to be in a brutal place to think that the Celtics are going to trade Jayson Tatum, and he's fucking Jayson Tatum. like I can't even begin to imagine how much that time like took a toll on his mental health. Like that had like those couple hours, those first few days, those couple weeks right after it happened. Like I said, I can't even begin to imagine. But now that he's attacked this rehab, now that he's come back as strong as he is, like you can imagine wanting to give yourself some hope. Like I could come back this season. I believe it. And again, maybe he can. Like I will say, like before this, I thought there was maybe like a 1-2% chance he came back this season. Now it's probably like 30, right? Like it jumps significantly based on his latest media tour. However, I still don't think it's like, oh my God, he's going to be back in November. He's definitely going to be back All-Star break. Like it's going to happen. I'm still not ready to go there. But I do think everything we've heard from doctors in the interview and some doctors chiming in on Twitter, and I mean, straight from the horse's mouth, Jayson Tatum talked about it himself, his recovery and stuff. I do think that there is a more likely chance now than we knew of beforehand.
I just thought it was so funny. Like Stephen A was talking about it on First Take, and I think like he was just talking about the roster and how things are different. # different here. And he was like, yeah, like, Porzingis got traded, Drew Holiday got traded. You're not going to be playing this year. And he made it a point, and he was like, I've had to correct people 3 times today so far. I never said I'm not playing this year, which is, I don't know. I think you do not say that unless you're certain. I guess you can't be certain with this. Like there could be setbacks and things like that. But like
you can't know.
As far as he can be certain, he's certain. Right? Like
I don't think he wants to rule
any
it out.
Like crazy variables, he feels confident that he's going to be back this season. And this is coming from me. I mean, Jack, like I told you, like I'm like we had like a back and forth about this a few episodes ago where it was like, well, I think like if you're bad, you just like kind of shut everyone down and like take your draft pick, which he also said they're not going to do on TV. But like, I'm not going to be the one that's like, hell yeah, rush him back. Championship chase is back on. But there are people out there that are going to be that. Like cooler heads, you're a cool head behind your microphone right now, but like people, like the average fan is like, he's back. Like people were, I saw Grandy float March 4th is like the day, like watch out for March 4th. A couple days after his birthday against the Hornets, or a day after his birthday against the Hornets. Look, I just think this is an unnecessary thing to put out there and to put fuel into, unless you're feeling, unless you know something. Like I feel the point is there's more to this, and I'd have to assume the more is that he's progressing extremely well. Like last week we talked about Zolak and Bertrand sharing information they'd gotten from Missoula at dinner, where we learned he's been at the Auerbach Center 5 days a week. Then he goes on vacation for the weekend and still does rehab those days. And then Tatum pretty much confirmed that, not to say like that was a controversial report, but he was like, yeah, I'm not working out 6 days a week for nothing. Like, I am busting my ass to get back out there. And I think when this happened, the consensus amongst the media, especially this show, was, of course, he's a psychopath. Like, the first thing we heard about this from Mark Spears on ESPN, who had talked to Justin Tatum, Jayson's father, was, yeah, we're looking at 8 or 9 months. Like, that's the goal. And we were all like, well, that's crazy. Why would you do that? And sounds like they might be on track.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Like I said, I don't think him saying this guarantees anything. Like, I think him saying this is denying the notion that there's no chance, right? Because I mean, you've heard it. I've written it. I've written like won't play the season or parentheses or most of, right? Like, and that's what everyone is saying. Everyone is saying he's definitely not coming back this season. We'll see him in 26, 27.
Up until today, that's what we've said on the show.
Yeah, I just think he is putting that to rest. I think he's saying, like, listen, like, I'm playing or recovering well. I don't want to shut down that notion. And I think part of it is, again, giving fans hope, giving himself hope, lifting himself up. But I don't think him saying this is a guarantee that he'll be back. I think it exponentially increased the chance, but I don't think you should take this and say, okay, Tatum will definitely be back in March, right? Like, I just don't think that leap is a fair one to take for him, his recovery, or just general hope. I don't think it should go from 0 to 90% with a few statements. I think it should be more like 30. Like, I think it went from, like, I think it 30x. Like I said, I think it was 1% before. I think it's 30% now. Sure, that's my thing. But I don't think Tatum saying don't rule it out is enough to be like, I'm coming back. Like, I just think he's trying to make it clear that, like, listen, I'm not going to rush it, but I'm not going to say it's impossible, which is not what everyone was saying beforehand. But regardless, would be cool. Like I've said it before. I think the biggest thing for Jayson Tatum is come back when he's ready and there's nothing else he can do but play live action basketball. Don't care if the Celtics have won 4 games. Don't care if the Celtics are the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference by some random occurrence. Like, whenever that time comes, let him play. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I feel differently about it today than I did a week ago. Just hearing this, like, I just assumed we wouldn't hear anything about this until it was time. Like, that's usually how injuries are handled. But I mean, cool, interesting. We're gonna have to pay attention to it. I'm curious, like, I mean, people are gonna ask about this at media day, right? Like, they're gonna ask Missoula, and he's gonna say he doesn't know anything. I am so fascinated, just not even like by what he said, more so the strategy behind what he said. It's like, there was no reason to do that. Now there's pressure. Now there's an expectation from some people that you're going to play this year. I don't know why you would remove or add pressure when there was none. Like, everyone was like, all right, cool. Like, team's not going to be good. He's going to be out.
Well, I don't think it's pressure. I think he's just saying, I'm not going to take it off the table. Like, maybe it'll happen. Just don't say it's 0%. I think he just wanted to put the truth out there. I don't think he was doing anything to add pressure. I think he was just correcting what he saw as a false narrative.
Okay. Well, that's fair. He also, they asked him about the Knicks series, or maybe he was going back and forth with Stephen A. I didn't see this. I only read the transcript, but he was like, I'm not going to say that what would have happened, but I just know I've been down 3-2 on the road 3 times in my career, and I was 3-0, which is actually an incredible thing to be able to flex on TV. Just be like, yeah, I've actually never lost a winner go home game 6. Not only have I never lost those games, but I've had probably the best performance of my career in one of them, and then one of the most incredible single quarter performances in another one of them. So he makes a good point.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll never know. But anyways, before we continue, I need to tell you guys about Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action this football season. The Patriots are here. make sure to get in on the action with Prize Picks. Sam and I do the Prize Picks every pregame show during the Celtics season, which is in fact right around the corner. So you can check it out then. But for now, hit the action with football season. The Patriots are 1-1 now. So if you'd like the more or less on Drake May passing yards, or the more or less on Travion Henderson rushing attempts, because I mean, Ramondre Stevenson fumbled a few times last week, so maybe we give the ball to somebody else. All the point is, it's simple to play, so you just pick more or less on at least 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and right here in Massachusetts. Make your picks in 60 seconds or less and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Make sure to check it out and download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, next thing is Fred VanVleet tore his Achilles. ACL, excuse me. ACL. Not Achilles. He tore his ACL, probably almost 1,000%, unless he's Jayson Tatum, going to be a season-ending injury. And it sucks. I mean, that's just a brutal blow for the Rockets. They just got him back on a incredible contract. He's an incredible player. He helped lead them to the playoffs last year, and now they're going to have to figure stuff out at the guard position.
Yeah, Houston is like kind of well equipped for this. They drafted Reed Shepherd last year, 3rd overall. He basically redshirted as a rookie. Now he's going to see some opportunity at point guard, probably, right? But the weird thing about all of this is Houston went, I wouldn't say all in, because if this doesn't work, like they still have Amen Thompson, they still have Şengün, like they still have plenty of young players that they can feel good about.
Eason Smith, Shepherd, yeah.
And the list goes on. But they went and they traded for Kevin Durant this summer. Kevin Durant is not getting any younger. This is going to be his 19th season in the NBA. You might feel pressure to replace Fred VanVleet at this point. And some people on Twitter have been like, hey, what if the Rockets wanted Anthony Simons? Who wouldn't want Anthony Simons, it seems? And the answer is actually everybody. From all of the inside reports we've heard this summer, is everybody does not want him, including the Celtics, who are trying to trade him actively. So I am not sure how realistic it would be for Houston to come knocking about Anthony Simons, but they could. What would be more annoying is if they somehow ended up with Drew Holiday, which Drew Holiday in this case makes a lot of sense, except for the finances. Like everything else about that scenario makes a ton of sense. Veteran guard, can do a lot of different things on offense, can fill a lot of different roles on offense. He's still versatile on defense. He has championship experience. I looked into it yesterday for Hardwood Houdini. And if they were to do this, they'd probably have to wait till December because Steven Adams is a large trading or tradable contract that you could swing. But he re-signed this summer, so there's a recently signed restriction that expires December 14th. So it'd have to be like Steven Adams, Jabari Smith Jr., the Nets or a third team would have to get involved. Like it would be an extreme to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But man, would it be annoying if Portland somehow got more value for Drew Holiday than the Celtics did.
You could get there with Steven Adams, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then a contract 4.5 or less. At that point, it could just be combining 2 veteran minimum contracts. This is for the Drew Holiday thing. But a 4-for-1 midseason trade's a lot. You might have to get a third team, like you said, so they wouldn't have to take on that many bodies in Portland. Excuse me. I could understand it a little bit. You'd be really gutting into your depth at that point. I don't know if the Rockets would want to take on even more long-term money, especially considering Durant's on an expiring contract right now. Drew Holiday is a lot more than just Drew Holiday, the player. It's Drew Holiday, the contract. It's Drew Holiday, the, long-term money. It's Drew Holiday. Like there's a lot that goes into trading for Drew Holiday. And I think the reason the Blazers were willing to do it is because they probably weren't going to extend Anthony Simons anyways. Like that's kind of the notion you get there. I think it could make some sense if the Blazers were interested in picks, I guess, because like why did the Blazers don't really need a Steven Adams? They don't really need Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't really know why they would do it. Maybe if they got enough picks back, but they just traded for Drew Holiday, so they wouldn't be losing anymore. So then to go back to, it's a little awkward. The Anthony Simons thing could make some sense depending on the value the Celtics are looking for in return. Steven Adams and Dorian Finney-Smith, both of whom, by the way, cannot be traded until December 14th, December 15th-ish. I think December 14th is deadline. They can be traded on the 15th. Steven Adams and Dorian Finney-Smith make the money work. Those two for Anthony Simons works in a trade. So if the Rockets attached a second or two, maybe that would be something that they would be interested in. That would be taking on some good long-term money for the Celtics. Steven Adams is under contract for 3 years. Dorian Finney-Smith for 4 years. Then again, both are relatively tradable contracts, so it could actually be useful. Again, it just depends. Like if Anthony Simons by December 15th is playing incredible basketball, favorite for 6 man of the year, or starting, or there's a very good chance he could just be playing great. At that point, maybe the Celtics are like, fuck it, we're just to keep Anthony Simons, which is very possible. However, if at that time it's like he's not really fitting in, we kind of would rather Pritchard. We think Steven Adams and Dorian Finney-Smith could help us still next year, which is also possible. And both are 32, but it's not like they are, not playing productive basketball anymore. Steven Adams was incredible in the playoffs. Dorian Finney-Smith played an entire second half of basketball for the Lakers. Like they can both play good minutes still. Maybe they do that and they're like, okay, similar to what I said, like let's split Anthony Simons into 2 depth pieces instead. Would also help your center position by getting Steven Adams. So I don't think that's impossible. But I'm not going to sit here and say it's like likely either. I think I don't know. I don't know. I think there's also a good chance by December Reed Shepard's just playing really good. And they're like, fuck it. We don't need to do that because we have him. And Amen Thompson can run the point guard. And, Kevin Durant will have the ball in his hand a lot anyways. And Şengün runs our offense through the 5. So we'll see is what I'll say.
Yeah, like the silver lining of this for Houston, even though it still sucks, is they aren't able to go and make like a panic move. Like the recently signed contracts actually prevent them from doing that. It's like training wheels on, so they can see what they have first. They have time to evaluate. They have a built-in excuse to evaluate, even if that was like their knee-jerk reaction of what they wanted to do in the first place. And then they can go from there. I will say from a Celtics perspective, getting both Steven Adams and Dorian Finney-Smith would not be bad, especially Steven Adams considering what the Celtics have at center right now. And the fact that Steven Adams was actually like good for the Rockets, which is why they signed him again in the summer. They brought him back because he was a legitimate difference maker in the playoffs. It would be interesting to see how that fit worked here. But I just feel like unless Reed Shepard's really, really bad, there's no reason to go and get somebody like Simons. Like it would be like we need like the solidified, established presence of Drew Holiday rather than like Anthony Simons is like a fine player, but it feels like that kind of player grows on trees, which you cannot say about Drew Holiday.
It's also, what if Reed Shepard's not shooting the ball well in the NBA yet? What if like Fred VanVleet is the 3-point shooter? He averaged 9 attempts a game for them or something like that last year. They lost Jalen Green. They lost Dylan Brooks, both of whom were like their top 2 3-point, in attempts at least. Amen Thompson can't shoot. What if they want someone who can shoot the ball? And if they would also rather somebody on an expiring contract rather than Drew Holiday's long-term, very expensive money, I could see why they would do it, but he doesn't quite bring the same defensive intensity or anything that Fred VanVleet brings to the floor. So it would definitely be sort of a different look where Drew Holiday could be somewhat similar at least, although he doesn't bring the 3-point volume. Anyways, emails. A reminder as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We have one today from RJ, who I believe is responding to our NBA standings prediction. So let me share the screen so we can take a look at that one. RJ says, sure, let's predict. Morning, folks, and a hot one here in the SF Bay area. Since it's a slow news day and you've already put yours out there, have my prediction for the upcoming season all the way to the finals. Be well, RJ. Okay, let me take a look. RJ's 25-26 predictions. Eastern Conference, Cleveland, New York, Orlando, Boston at 4. Okay, wow. Milwaukee, Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Philly, Indiana, Miami, Brooklyn, Toronto, Charlotte, Washington. Brooklyn at 12 is crazy. That's the first thing I notice. The rest of this I don't think is too insane. Chicago at 8 is also crazy, but
The Clippers at 12 is crazy.
I didn't even get to the West yet. West,
okay.
OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Lakers, Spurs, Grizzlies, Blazers, Warriors at 8, Rockets at 9, Dallas, Phoenix, Clippers, Sacramento, New Orleans, Utah. Wow. Houston at 9? Houston at 9? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that at all.
Portland being the team
Portland
that
at
like
7 is
knocks
nuts.
teams down is crazy.
And Memphis.
I feel like a lot of the droppers in RJ's Western Conference have to do with like overreacting to some of the stuff. Like the reporting on the Kawhi tree funding is they are not going to have any kind of information still after the All-Star break. So like he's going to get to play a lot of the season. If he's going to be allowed to play a lot of the season. The Fred VanVleet injury definitely probably separates Houston from the other top 2 teams. Like I don't think they're on the same tier. Like when we did this, we didn't know about that yet. But I don't think it drops them that far down. Maybe they're on the same level as like in Minnesota. They're still going to be good. Like, they still have plenty of great pieces on their team. Their young players are probably going to develop internally and so on.
So he's got Cleveland. He's got the Celtics winning the finals still, which was funny.
Respect.
Respect the hustle. He's got Celtics in 6 over the Nuggets in the conference final in the NBA finals. He's got Celtics, Magic, and Spurs Nuggets conference finals. It's bold. It certainly is bold. Thank you, RJ. We appreciate you. It would be cool. Okay. No NBA section today. We covered that with the Fred VanVleet stuff. I mean, there's like a few little things. Thomas Bryant signed with the Cavs. Monte Morris signed with the Pacers. It's kind of it. Zion got people hyped up at media day. There's not really much going around in the NBA right now. It's just a couple media days with pretty general statements.
Yeah, Zion said he's in the best shape feels the best since he was in college.
He looks it. He looks good.
Yeah, he's got the goatee. He looks slim out of nowhere. It's crazy that he's been in the league for 6 years and this is the best he's felt, despite having probably some of the world's best assets at his disposal to feel good. Now we also have gotten the 76ers in their alternate uniforms for this season, the throwback AI era jerseys, which is kind of cool. Waiting on the Celtics. I think we're going to get those today, which are going we already know what they are, but they're going to be officially announced today. And the team will give us like the weird, silly backstory of, oh, this is why we did it. And here's why you should buy them. So that'll happen.
They already teased it. This is the gold standard.
Gold standard. All of the success here. Did we say Precious Achiuwa signed with Miami? He did.
Nope. He signed with the Heat this morning.
After starting his career there, then getting traded to Toronto, and then ending up in New York. We also have, we can say the ESPN player rankings until they're all out, but we're starting to see more Celtics guys trickle out of that. Yeah, we're getting there, man. Teams are starting their media days. Michael Porter Jr. said he spends $250 a day on Ubers in New York, which is crazy.
Michael Porter Jr. sucks. I don't want.
The Nets front office said they had spoken to Michael Porter Jr. about some of his microphone. Like Michael Porter Jr. is. Listen, how many times have I said to you in the past? Not everyone needs to have a microphone in front of them.
I would like to give nothing Michael Porter Jr. as a platform, even if it's the smallest platform. I don't even want to say his name. He's terrible. He's bad dude. Don't care. I have no interest in discussing Michael Porter Jr.
Cool number.
Loser. But yeah, not much going around across the NBA outside of the Fred VanVleet injury, which we just did discover, etc. So I think that just about does it.
We're gonna have our first games in like a week here because teams are gonna go play in Abu Dhabi and stuff. It's gonna happen fast. Like we've finally made it. We're on the plane. We've left the gate. We haven't taken off yet. and we're just hoping there's no like engine problem that makes us stay on the tarmac forever.
Indeed. Okay. Ratless Sam, what do you got?
Rat list is, I don't really know what the actual rat list is, but I went to the store this morning. We were out of breakfast items, so I had to go get some. And I finished shopping quickly. And I sit down in my car. It's pouring rain out, by the way. Is it raining near you?
I have no idea. I'm underground.
Excellent.
I'm in the basement.
Thanks for the good news. I sit down in the car. I've paid for everything. I've checked out. And I get a text from my girlfriend that says, hey, we need paper towels too. Couldn't have time. Like literally just turned the car on. I get we need paper towels. So that was, I had to go back in. Because paper towels are actually a very important item. You know, it's not like it could have been like, oh man, we'll get it next time. Like, no, we need them.
Yeah, I need to go get toilet paper today. Luckily, there's a CVS right across the what's it called? Right across the street, so it's fine. What do I want to list? I saw The Long Walk. Are you familiar with the movie that's out right now?
I feel like I've heard the name. I don't know that much about it though.
It's good. Do you want me to explain the concept?
Sure. Yeah.
So, it is a Stephen King novel turned into a movie, and it is basically a future or whatever where a guy from every state guys from every state enter a lottery, one gets picked, and they televise a broadcast of this competition called The Long Walk, and it is just walk for as long as possible. Last one standing gets one wish and unlimited, like, fuck ton of money. And if you stop walking, they kill you on the spot. They just shoot you in the head. They kill you, and it's really fucked up. It was really upsetting to watch. It was a great movie, but it was like it was heavy. That's the word. It was brutal, but it was a good movie. It was a lot.
Sounds a little like Squid Game. It's not quite the same.
Kind of Hunger Games, Squid Game, that type of vibe. It's supposed to be like an allegory for like the Vietnam War, etc., or like that type of time period, but it's not like back in time.
Rat list is me. Oh, you know what? No. Rat list is, I'm trying to figure out car insurance right now. I'm trying to get a new car, and to register my car, I need to have car insurance on the car. So I've been calling around, getting quotes. Call a certain company. Company might sponsor the Celtics. They might not sponsor the Celtics. And I'm like, hey, here's my information. How much is it going to cost me? They give me a quote. I'm like, okay, thank you for this. Can you email it to me? They email it to me. I'm like, I'm going to ask around, see what else, compare prices and so on. I've decided I'd like to go with this quote. And I called back yesterday and I'm like, hey, I've decided to go along with the quote. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, cool. What do you need from me? What are the next steps? They're like, okay, cool. we're just gonna, I gotta put a code in, to make sure something. And then we'll get your payment information so you pay for it. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. And I had given the person I was speaking to on the phone the number of the quote that I was sent, the ID number. It was not the same person I had spoken to the first time, even though I did reach out to that person. They were off or whatever. So the person's like, okay, yeah, it looks good to me. I was like, just to make sure, what is the price on this? It was almost double the quote that I had been given. So they were ready to charge me double. And I was like, well, I don't want to pay that. And they're like, okay, we have to look. We have to figure out why. And we'll get back to you. Here's what I'll say. I am vehemently against anything that makes it way more difficult for you to give people money. This has been such an annoying, long, dragged out process to literally just give them free money. Could I get in a car accident? Absolutely, I could. Could I need the insurance? Absolutely, I could. More or less, I'm going to be giving them a free X amount of dollars every 6 months for nothing. We should sell HBTC shark insurance. So if you're attacked by a shark, we promise that we will take care of that shark. Like, even if the shark gets the best of you, we'll go get your lick back on the shark. We promise. Like, that's like, you're essentially playing the odds. Like, it's like, okay, you're probably not going to get in a car insurance, but in a car accident. But if you do, then we got you. It is crazy just how much money these companies want for fucking nothing.
It's the game, man. That's the world we live in. that's unfortunately how it works. Excuse me. What else would I want to rat list? It is too hot outside for what it looks like. It's like cloudy and rainy. And I walked outside last night. I went to see a movie, get dinner with Michaela, and I walked outside. I'm like, you know what? I'll wear pants, wear a hoodie. It'll be nice. Maybe it'll rain later. It's like 90% humidity or something ridiculous. I'm sweating my ass off. It was like, it looks like it should be a cool 55, 60 outside, which perfect in my opinion. Love the like the low coldness. Nope. Psych, got my dumbass. Pissed me off. Didn't like it.
Well, that happened. I would say like that happened to me yesterday, but I was in my house. Like, we don't have the air on right now because it hasn't been very hot out. And yes, we can turn the air back on, but like, we don't have the air on right now. It's comfortable. But I was sitting here literally just playing Xbox and I was sweating. I was like, God damn it, man. Like, why is it so hot? Monday night, went out, did in Newport here, they have like pedal bikes that you can ride on like the railroad, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Like, it's a fun sightseeing thing to do. So me and my girlfriend did that. Perfect weather. Like, the exactly what Jack described, like 60 degrees. I love it when I can wear a sweatshirt and shorts. It's perfect. Had a great time. How is it inconsistent the next day? I mean, that's what this time of year is, really. It's like, if you're going into work, you have to like dress for the afternoon. Like, even if it's cold when you're leaving in the morning, it's going to be hot by the time you're going to go get lunch. Like, you need to wear a short sleeve to be comfortable. That was my biggest thing when I was going to work. It's like, I have to dress for 2 different days. And someone could say, wow, you could just wear a jacket and then take it off and then go from there. It's like, I don't know. I like to like have like the one thing.
I would just like it to be a good temperature. I don't want to have to fucking worry about changing. I just want it to be nice out. For the first time in my Dynasty Fantasy League that I joined that is an expansion team, I am projected to win this week.
Whoa! Clap it up.
In fact, I am projected to have the second most points in the league this week. My team has gone from dog shit to not bad. To not bad at all. Start this week, I've got Jaden Daniels, Cam Scattaboo, who just had a monster week, Ashton Genty, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ricky Pearsall, Tyler Warren, Xavier Worthy, and then Colts kicker, Packers defense, Brian Branch as my IDP. I'm projected 123 point something, like 0.62. But the guy who's in first place, who just beat me last week, my roommate Brian, might have the most stacked fantasy team you'll ever hear, because he's just built really well, and it's a dynasty, so it's just insane. So he has Josh Allen, Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malik Neighbors. It's just ridiculous. But I am projected to win just barely. I'm not playing him though. I'm projected to play my my friend Mike. But I was thrilled when I woke up this morning. Not thrilled though was we're planning family dinner for the month of October, and everyone sent their dates in. They're like, okay, we have 2 dates left, and I just had to send the fucking ridiculous number. Yeah, it's cooked. And so they all got mad at me. I'm like, guys, this is public knowledge. We can't be doing this. Whatever, man.
It is a very like annoying problem that's exclusive to like people like us, because that is one of like the things about the off season. It's just such a, I wouldn't say complete breath of fresh air, because we do miss it. Like, I think we both miss the games and everything, but not having to be like, can't do it that day, there's a game, is nice. Just having the flexibility to make plans. Like, oh man, there's just gonna be so many times I have to say no to things now. It's like, nope, gotta go to work. Sorry.
That's all I got. I don't think I have anything else today. I think I did have something, but I forget now. So I will be done, I guess. You got
Yeah,
anything else?
I'm good. I don't have anything great. Yeah, just the insurance companies, man.
Indeed. All right. Well, in that case, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that same. Check it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps up the morning after each game, and other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want those, go ahead and follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. I read them every single time we do the show, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You can find our socials and How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance. And that's it for us.
Check,